All right, my buddy Jerry here is fixing to help me with a project.
I am.
And neither one of us know what we're fixing to do here. You know, we know nothing about this, but we're going to learn together. Is that right, Jerry?
That's the way it works.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's usually the way projects of yours do work.
Oh, thank you. Can you believe he did, you know? Anyway, what's going on here is this company Haloview sent Deb and I this backup camera kit, and this is the model BT11 from Haloview, and basically what it has is the monitor is the mirror, and this basically fits over the mirror that you already have, and it becomes your monitor. And this system here just has one camera, which we'll be mounting on the back of the trailer, so we can monitor what's going on. Plus there's other features that it has too that we'll get more into that once we get the unit installed, and then we do some demos going down the road and stuff like that. We'll show you all the features about that. But what we're going to cover in this segment is mainly the installation of the product itself. And first, what I think we'll do, Jerry, could you I'm going to set the camera. Could you open that for me? Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud.
I think I can handle that.
Yeah, we'll see. You know,
learn as you go.
You are from Kansas, you know. From Kensaw.
On the Arkansas River.
That's a little thing that Jerry and I have going with each other is Jerry prefers to call the Arkansas River the Arkansas River, and
that's what it is.
No, it's not. It's the Arkansas River. Oh, we're not going to get into that right now. Anyway, we'll start off first with this here. Now, what you've got, it's a wireless system. Jerry, would you pull that out for me? I can't do it one-handed. Maybe you can, but it's a wireless system, and this is basically the brains of the outfit right here. And you know, they show it in the manual. They show it plugged into a cigarette lighter port that you would have on the dash of your vehicle, and then you see these two terminals on either side. That's where the antennas will mount, which are in the kit too. But anyway, this is basically the brains of the outfit, and the whole idea behind it is that it picks up the wireless signal from the camera, and of course sends it on down to the monitor. Now, we'll set that right there. The way you hook up the monitor, first we'll go ahead and, yeah, could you go ahead and pull that out for me? And this is your monitor, of course, right here, and it replaces, or it covers up actually the mirror that it mounts over the mirror. You can see these straps on the back. Now, in addition to having the rear view camera, there's also a dash cam that is included in this as well. And here you'll see the different inputs where we plug the cables in and what each one of them do, which will go into more depth on that again after we get the system installed. Basically what we're covering in this segment here is the installation. So we're going to lay that right there. Now let's pull this off here, set that over there. Now this is an extension cable that would plug in to this gizmo right here, and we're going to need some extension cable, and I think it has even more. We'll talk about that in a second here. Yeah, here's some more extension cable, same cable right here. And this is a power cable, I think, that would go to the rear camera, which will mount on the back of the trailer right here. This thing is cool. What I really appreciate about this rear camera over a kit that we have on there now, which quite honestly I'm not real happy with, is that it comes, here are your antennas, by the way. You got 3 antennas, 2 that mount on the main transmitter right here, and then the other one mounts on the camera on the back. and it screws in right here. But and I'm probably just making a mess here. But what I do like about this one is, here it is. For this rear camera, it came with this really cool gasket, Jerry. Isn't that a nice looking gasket?
It's good looking gasket.
The camera that we have mounted right now on the back of the trailer did not come with a gasket like this at all, nothing at all. And and it's made to fit on this flange right back here. So that's going to seal a whole lot better. And I do have a little bit of a leak that I'm dealing with right now, even though I, sealed around the hole where I ran the wire through and everything. But I've got a minor leak, and I'm still
ought to take care of it.
Well, I'm thinking it will. That's a really neat product there. Now, what this is, there's two things here, and I hope I get them right. Let's see. This one is the power conversion box right here, and basically what it does, it drops the voltage down from 12 volts, because when you plug into the power source at a cigarette lighter type port, that's a full 12 volts, or it should be anyway, right?
Should be.
Yeah. So
it's wired correctly.
but what this does, it will drop the power down to 5 volts, because everything runs basically off of a USB type circuit. So, and of course these ends here will plug into the monitor, which we will show you in another segment of this video. This here is also this is a power filter that you utilize right there. And let's see, is there anything else we need to point out before we move on? These things will, okay, I think that's pretty much covered what we're fixing to do here. Now what I'm gonna do, you see this box right here, and then you see I've got some cigarette lighter type 12 volt port here, and I'm gonna step over here to the van, Jerry. The way I'm going to mount this, which is different, and this is what it's going to be a little bit more involved. Let me turn on my headband light here so we'll have a little more light. There you go. What I've got right here on this bulkhead, if those of you will remember this, followed us for any length of time, we have designed the back of the van here to carry all the stuff that we need to carry, and we built a platform roughly 24 inches or so off of the floor of the van that runs all the way back, and this is the bulkhead here that keeps stuff from sliding in and running into me and Deb when we're going down the road if we happen to have a panic stop. But what this does, this kit here that I installed, we have one light bar up there, and this company sent us this product, it's been over a year ago. And right now, this controller, this fuse box here, is controlled by this controller right here, and there's a total of 8 circuits in this fuse box. Right now we're only using one circuit to run the one light bar that's on top of the van. Eventually I plan on mounting a couple more lights along the way on top, but still I'm going to have plenty of circuits to do whatever I want to do. Now also what I intend to do eventually, which has nothing to do with what we're fixing to do right now, but I intend to move this down into here somewhere, but I have plans to build some kind of a console here to accommodate the things that we need up front, and this portion will be done away with right here, and the console will come all the way up, and I'm working on the design right now, but I plan on putting that mounted at the front of the console so it's easier to get to switch on different things. But what we're going to do, if you got that box here, Jerry, what we're going to do, and I'm kicking myself, I didn't need a box this big, but what I'm going to do is move this on over here a little ways. This box is going to be mounted right there, and then right in the middle of it, or maybe just above, that's where I'm going to go ahead and mount the cigarette lighter port that I have right there, and then we'll be able to plug the brains of the outfit in right there, and plus it'll be up here where the antennas have a clean shot back to the back, which should help give us a really good signal. I don't know that that's absolutely necessary, but that's the way it's going to work out anyway. Then what we intend to do with the cables that run from the brains of the outfit up front, because we got to get all the cables to the monitor up here. We're going to route the wires along this bulkhead here, run it up there above Jerry's head, come across the headliner. We played with that yesterday and kind of loosened up the headliner so we can get stuff around there. And then we're going to drop the cables down, you know, right in here. I'll probably drill a small hole right through here so that the cables can neatly come down and right into there, you know, to plug into the monitor. But that is my plan right now. And we're going to start working on that. And we're not going to bore you with that part of it until we get to where it's time to start plugging in all the different cables to the monitor itself. And then we'll get you back on here and we'll show you, you know, how it all works out. So, Jerry, are you ready to go to work?
Let's do it. Ain't nothing to do but do it.
I think Jerry's already got it figured out. I'll probably just end up just saying yes sir, no sir, and you know, and he'll just do it. So anyway, no,
I doubt it.
Are you gonna make me do all the work?
I am.
Well, that ain't fair.
I just furnished the place to do it in.
Well, this is true, because you know they're threatening with rain today, and we didn't think it was going to happen. And while we were standing here in here in the garage, all of a sudden here come a little shower. So that's why we're inside, and I do appreciate you letting me use your garage.
No problem.
Okay, first I want to apologize for how messy the van is. We've been doing an awful lot of stuff here lately in the van, and things are in a bit of disarray, of course, but we'll be moving to another location here in just a few days. So the plan is to totally dismantle the van, pull everything out of it, repack it properly. When you're stationary for a while, things tend to get a little disorganized, and that's what's happened here. So now moving beyond that, the next thing is eventually I do intend to get this arranged a little bit different as time goes on. When we get back to Northwest Arkansas in the spring, we'll be pulling this headliner completely down, and we're going to get the whole thing recovered. And while all that is going on, we will be rearranging all of this here. Some of this stuff will be moved around, and the wires will be tidied up a whole lot better than what they are. Okay, we got that out of the way, so you'll know that this is just temporary what you see here, but we have everything working. Now first, what I want to point out is we do have the box mounted here, and we mounted the cigarette lighter port in that box, and got it wired up to the fuse panel here. And then of course it is controlled, whether it's turned off or on, it's controlled by this right here. So and I'll show you how that works in just a little bit. Of course, this has nothing to do with what we're doing here. Now, I want to apologize to Haloview. I referred to this part right here as the transmitter. It's technically the receiver. They call it the smart box receiver. And on a typical installation, if you were mounting everything on the dash, you would plug this into a cigarette lighter port on your dash and then route the wires accordingly. And that's what we're getting ready to talk about next. Now, we have power coming to this, and then of course this is plugged into here. I don't have the antennas mounted on here yet, and we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But the very first thing that you do, you got a little tail coming out, and you plug this in, and this is the power filter right here. And then what we did, we routed that wire up and over to there. It comes up where it's kind of hidden there, and then it goes, what we did, we took it straight across the headliner and then brought all of the wires out just off of the end of the headliner here, so that everything would be right there and accessible. All right, let me walk around now to the driver's seat and we'll show you some more. All right, this is your the monitor, which with the straps that I showed you in the previous clip, simply strap around your existing mirror. I understand there is a kit a person could get where you can do away with the original mirror and then just bolt this to your regular mount. I've got to see if one's available for this particular model here. And this is where the dash cam sticks out right here. Right now we have the dash cam working. We still have yet to connect the rear camera to it, which we're getting ready to do that here shortly. Now, when you bring the wires out over the top here, well like we did, and route it the way we did, when they come out, and this is the main wire right there, this is the main wire coming out right here, the one that I'm wiggling, that is the one that came from the bulkhead on the back of you know, behind me, behind my head. The next thing it goes into is a power converter box. This is also a power converter box, and it also carries the audio video line, and it has two lines that come off of that right here, and those simply plug in to the USB type C port here, and then the other one, which is a typical 1/8 inch tip ring sleeve type cable, it plugs in right there, and it'll be very obvious. Now let me go ahead and bend this down. Maybe you can see it a little bit better here. Let me see if I can turn the light on without giving you, yeah. Now the this cable here, right here, this, as you can see, it's going on up, and it's routed across the top over here, and I've got it coming down, and you can't see it there. Let me turn this light off and see if you can see it back there. Well, let me just move the garment out of the way. But down there, I hope you can see it, there's a little square box type thing down there. That is your GPS. That's where it grabs the GPS signal from. And that's one thing that we did not talk about in the original clip. I kind of skipped over that. I said I'd get back to it, and I never did. But anyway, that's what that is. Now, let me turn this light back on. The GPS cable plugs in right there, and it'll be rather obvious where it plugs in right there. Now your SD card, or they call it the TF card, is right here, and it's a micro SD card that goes in right here. And yeah, I have pulled it out, and I've used my my card reader, and I'm able to download the videos right directly off of the card into either my Android phone or my Android tablet that I use for doing all of my editing with. I did have to download a conversion app to convert it over to MP4 because it doesn't record an MP4, but that was a snap. But I only had to change it over to MP4 just so I could use it in my editing software. So just so you'll know all that. All right, so that's basically all that's involved there. Now we'll show you this right quick while we're at it. All I got to do, because the dash cam is working, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to touch that button right there, and we go back over here and you can see it's coming up. Let me turn this light off. You might be able to see a little better. But now that is the, and it says please insert UVC1, which we have, but it goes off. There we go. Now that is the view out the front, and it shoots, the video is very clean and very clear. And when I downloaded some sample stuff when I was experimenting with it, it came out really, really nice. And what I also like about this is that it fills the full mirror, not just a little cropped section here in the middle, but fills the whole thing. So it's real easy to monitor stuff. Now right now I have it where it's just showing the dash cam going out the front. We will move on and show you more here in a little bit. Now we're going to talk about the rear camera mount. Okay, it's really pretty straightforward. We had a little bit of issue getting this mounted because of the way this trailer is built. There is a huge C-channel that runs all the way across like a header, all the way across the back. And it's a pretty heavy gauge metal. But we got her. We ended up using number 8 self-tapping sheet metal screws. And one thing that's very important, this gasket that you see here, you want to make sure that the ridge on the gasket is exposed all the way around, you know, when you go to mount your camera up here, to make sure that it seals really, really well. And I still have to adjust the angle, but what I like about this is that it's got rigid angle adjustments by just simply doing that. Whereas the old one that I had, you had to climb up and you had little set screws on either side of the bracket. There's just no comparison between this and the old one that I had. No comparison whatsoever. This is much, much higher quality than the old one was. But anyway, those are the two main things that you have to be aware of, is to make sure that you get the ridge on this gasket, and it'll be quite obvious when you're holding the gasket in your hand, quite obvious, you know, how it fits. There's going to be no mistake in that. And then of course, you mount the antenna onto the side right here. Don't know if you can see it or not, but right underneath here, right where you see my thumb, there is a little button right here, and that is the pairing button. And according to the instructions, when we go to pair this to the receiver, the smart box that's in the tow vehicle, we'll have to start it first in there, and then we come out here and push this in until it pairs, the two of them. And you've got to get out here and push this button within 50 seconds after you push the start button on the smart box in the tow vehicle. Of course, what's going to really help there is to have two people doing this, you know, one person to push the button inside the vehicle and the other one out here on the ladder ready to go. So that's one reason why we're leaving the ladder up, and we will get more into that here in just a little bit. Now this is the power cable that connects to the camera once you get the camera mounted. Now on the end, on the camera itself, there is a pigtail coming out that has a female portion of this fitting on it. And of course, this is like a barrel connector on the end here. And once you get that fitting through the gasket and through the wall, then you have to, you know, you go ahead and mount this to that fitting. And I wish I would have showed you that fitting before, the one that's on the camera, but I just didn't think about it at the time, and I apologize. But suffice it to say, it'll be very obvious. It's the pigtail coming off of the back of the camera is around 6 inches long, and it will have a fitting that obviously fits to this. Now, it's fairly fat. It's fairly fat. And when you have that gasket, you'll notice in the center of the gasket, there's a very, very small little hole. And actually, the little hole is more accommodating for this size of the wire that comes off of it right here. However, you do not want to drill that hole out just so that big fitting will slide through, the one that comes off the camera. You can get it to go through there. You just work at it a little bit and push it on through, and then that will leave you with a really good seal. You want to make sure that you have a good seal. So I just wanted to point that out to you. What we're getting ready to go do now is go inside and go ahead and finish hooking this part up. I'm joined by my lovely assistant.
I don't know how lovely.
Well, she's been working away in here getting this all ready, so we'll have easy access to everything. You know, we might ought to turn on a light.
Well, that, and plus while we were, you know, taking things apart, I thought, now's a good time to paint.
Yeah. No, she's been doing some painting in here too.
Did some paint up, touch up. It's only been 2 years.
I know. Well, actually, probably a little more than 2 years.
Since I painted all that.
We're coming up on, yeah, that's just correct. So anyway, come on in here, babe, just in case I need you for anything. But if you'll hold this, I'd appreciate it. Now I'm going to turn on this light, so it might be a little bright in your delicate little eyes. Okay. But here's what we were talking about a while ago. Okay, hold that right there. And this is the line coming from the camera outside. So you see what I'm talking about as far as the size of that fitting is concerned. Now all we need to do is we're going to plug this in to this here in a little bit, and then we're going to route the wire on through here. We've got all these panels pulled off here. There's a panel that goes there, but you know, we've got them pulled off so you can see, and then of course the panel goes all along up in here. But we're going to route that right along over in here. And where I'm going to tie it in, and this is the way I had the last one before, This is the main wire that comes up off of the trailer that powers all of my running lights right here. And I'm using a WAGO connector. For those of you that are new to the channel, following us, we swear by these things and we use them a lot throughout the trailer. Look it up, WAGO connectors. They're available in many different configurations. The 2Zs, 3Zs. This is a 3Z because it has 3 ports on it. And the reason why I'm using a 3Z here is because the main wire that's carrying the power, I'm bringing it into the center port, and then the connection that I took apart that goes to the running lights, off of this main wire right here, I moved over to this port to the side. This port here is where the camera will plug in right here. And that the way I can you know, get my camera working, turn it off and on, all I have to do when we're towing is reach down and turn on my running lights and I've got a camera. You know, that's all there is to it. So yeah, that's how that works. So anyway, all I got to do is bring, you know, like I said, route the wire down through here, then hook it up to here. I've got this already tapped where I'll put an eyelet on the ground wire, and it'll be screwed back in right there where the old one was, right there. And then we'll have power simply by turning on the running lights, and that's it. Anything else, dear?
I don't think so.
You think I missed? You're hiding again.
No, I was just sitting down.
Just sitting down. Anyway, that's what we're going to do next. So, are you ready, dear?
I'm ready.
We're going to go ahead and get all this hooked up, and we'll get back to you here in just a little bit. All right, we're all hooked up, ready to go. I've already got my running lights on to activate the camera in the rear. And now I'm going to turn on this system here. And here it comes up. And there's the front view. And it immediately starts recording. Now if you want to stop it from recording, you do that. Now it's stopped recording. Now let's go over here. Now we have front and rear view right there. And if I wanted to see nothing but rear view, I just touch this side of the screen, and then I have nothing but the rear view. Now I don't know if I've got the camera adjusted you know, the way it really needs to be back there at the back. We'll have to find out on this trip.
There you go.
And then we'll make adjustments accordingly. But I think we got it pretty close. What I did, I had Deb stand back there when we got it all set up and everything, and I kind of, you know, guessed from there. But there is a procedure you can go through. Now we're back to split screen now, and now we are up to just viewing out the front. And we're looking right at the sun right now, so the picture may not be all that great. But what I'll do, we're going to run this thing all the way. We're making about a, what is it, about a 70-mile run?
Yeah, about
today.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half or so. And we will, you know, have it recording the way, and then I will show you what it looked like. And then we'll talk about adjustments later. Anyway, are you ready to go, dear?
I am.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm ready to go.
You got your phone? You got your billfold?
Got my phone, got my billfold, got everything I think I need.
And me.
Oh yeah, I got you this time. Didn't leave you.
Nope.
And we have Delilah. She's in her little carrier right here, and it's been a while since she's been in it, but she acclimated to it fairly quick. All right, we're on the road now. Well, I apologize for the video being so long, but there was just so much stuff to cover, and I wanted to make sure that you had a good understanding of the installation process. Of course, ours was a little bit different simply because of the way we had to do a little bit of extra work there to mount the brains of the system, but everything else is pretty much, you know, the same. As far as the quality of the video that it shoots, I'm very, very impressed. The only thing that I might need to try to do, I noticed that the rear view camera shots seem to be just a tad grainier than the dash cam shots out the front. But part of that could be because of where I had to mount the rear camera on the rear of the trailer. It's sitting kind of low, and the antenna, you know, doesn't seem to be sticking up very much at all. So when you consider that there's really not a clear shot from the antenna at the rear camera, you know, because there's an obstruction right there, it's really quite good. I failed to mention that both of these cameras, whether it be the dash cam or the rear camera, they both shoot in 1080p. And all my videos, I do all my videos in 1080p anyway, so it doesn't matter as far as that goes. But the video was very, very clean. We intend on doing more with the product. There's still a whole lot more to talk about this product, but this video was so long that we're going to cover the rest of this in an upcoming video, which won't be very far down the line. We'll be moving to another location here in a little over 2 weeks. But it has a ton of features that we have not covered yet. And one thing is, let's see, what do they call it here? It's the BSD system. It's a warning system that when you're traveling down the interstate, say, and you want to do a lane change, it detects vehicles that might be coming up behind you and gives you an audible warning. Just in case there's one in the lane when you're getting ready to change into that lane. And we're going to go into detail about that, how it works. And then we will also go through the calibration process of how you get that all set up to do that. So these are all things that are coming very soon, and I hope you stay tuned for that. I hope you watch this video to the end. There was just so much to cover. As it is right now, I am so impressed with this product. The GPS on it works flawlessly. I don't know if you could tell or not, and when we did the shot of the screen, you know, as we were going down the road, but it also shows how fast you're going, and you know, it constantly knows where you are at all times. So that's very, very important, and it also tells you the time of the day, you know, and all that. Once we hooked up the GPS, the little GPS receiver, all of that was automatic. It didn't take no time for all that stuff to automatically pop up on the screen. So all kinds of features. In addition to that, there is a, what do they call it? Well, let's say if you get a G-force, something. But anyway, if say you were in an accident, and it would realize that you were in an accident, then it will be sure and save that particular footage if you need that footage in a court of law, let's say, or something like that, or for insurance purposes. But anyway, for right now, we're going to let you go. Apologize for the video being so long, but there was so much stuff that I felt was very important to cover on this, and we will do a follow-up video here in just a couple weeks or so, a little beyond that, and go through all the rest of the stuff. And then, you know, we'll be integrating video from these cameras as we continue our travels. And we'll be doing a lot of traveling here coming up shortly. Anyway, this is Bill, and Deb's outside visiting with folks. But this is Bill, and I know exactly what she would say when I say we're not camping. She would say we are living. And you all get out there and do some living, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.